Alright, so to keep it simple, this came before this other stuff. Now notice the A box is here. This is done, this is the rollout. This is the rollout because in actuality, caged is overlapped. So it's the A box would be overlapped. So let's look at that a little bit here. Here's 3, 4, 5, top string pentatonics, top down pentatonics. Then 5, 6 would be overlapped. See where the 5, 6 and the A is there, and then G would overlap with the A, the G box, but this is in fourth. So in cage, the fourth of C is E. All right. So here, the fourth of C is E, the fourth of E is A, the fourth of A is D, the fourth of D is G, the fourth of G is C. The other way around is in fifth, so you would say the fifth of E is C. I can demonstrate that with the regular guitar. If we're in a C shape here, C shape C. C shape, then go to F shape, E shaped F. So the fourth of the C shape is the E shape. All right, I put that in like almost every one of my videos. Now I want you to understand one thing about the tripentatonics. Okay, and I say it down here. All right, this is about half diminished. Oh, I said it in my Facebook thing. That's a little complicated right now. It would be pretty much, you know, it's everything. It's kind of like the transcript. But what I do explain is that the tripentatonic labeling up here, C, E, G, this is the root shape, the fourth shape. Remember I told you the fourth shape is E? It's all top pentatonics now because we're in P5. Root, fourth, 5. But here, this is the root shape. We played that. Now let's go to the fourth shape. I'm using the same, this is root based 1, 4, 5. So now we're on the fourth. There's the E bar shape right there. That's the fourth shape. The fifth shape, so here I had this going to here, but don't worry about these lines right yet. The fifth shape is the G shape, which is the fifth shape. The tripentatonic major, root-based majors, 1, 4, 5, big 1, big Roman numerals 4 major, big Roman numeral 5. These are done in the root, so we have this. We see the same thing, C, E, G. But with these labels, I do it in the local. So we got in the C box, everything follows the regular C shape. So it'd be D minor, G, A minor, E minor, A minor, C half diminished shape. Why is it? From C, there. Okay, or it'd actually be C minor half diminished would be like taking that C minor half diminished and then coming down with it. So we just call that a shape for the fun of it. But you can substitute whatever you want. As soon as you see that half diminished, you know that you're looking at, you could substitute a 5, 7 there and that, it'll sound good. The point is that these follow caged, just like everything follows caged. C, A, G, E, D, that's caged, okay? Now the fourth of C is the E shape, right? Here's your E. We just keep spelling the caged word again. E, D, G, C, and start C over again. E, D, caged. C over again, C, A, and G again. Same thing with the G. G, E, D, and then C, A. Over here, it does the same thing. It gets a little complicated, but if you remember it follows caged, you'll know the shapes. So let's say in guitar we're going D minor, we'll get Mr. Capo. Now remember, these diagrams are for P5, but I'm demonstrating on a guitar. D minor, G. Am I on guitar? Yes. I just didn't feel the sixth string because of the band-aid. I was on a 5-string. And then A minor. That's in the C box. If we go to the A box with that, then we got to play the different, but it follows cage. D goes to C starting cage over again. G goes to E in cage, C, A, G, E, D. And A goes to G in cage, C, A, G. See how it follows cage? But now we're in the next box, right? So this is the C box because it's 3, 4, 5. Now we're in, actually these are the inverse verses of it, but I'm using guitar. Now we're in the A box. Okay, so we're going to actually put it on the 5th because we went from the 3rd to the 5th. And pentatonics, true caged pentatonics, the third inversion, the pentatonic scale inversion. It's actually the second inversion of a root pentatonic scale. Now it goes to the third inversion, root pentatonic scale, 5/6. We have the 5/6 here. We're going to do C minor shape, E major shape, and then G minor shape. Well, we've got a problem with that, don't we? Because in C minor shape, we're going to have to do something like this. To E shape, and then to G minor shape, we're going to have to do something like this. Unless we want to just extend the bar down, and the C minor shape would go. And then to E shape, and then to G minor shape. Okay, but it's the same thing. It's a C minor shape, D minor, an E shaped G, and a G minor shaped A minor. Now let's look at that. What's that? Here's our real deal A minor. A minor shaped A minor in the C box. So we spelled it out. So that follows cage 2. Now let's get back to the P5 because that's where the fun begins and we get the new sounds. So like I say, with the lines here, because you can't play chords on a bowed instrument, and they're always doing fourths, which is nice if you play it rhythmically and use it properly, but it's hard to get a chord on a bowed instrument. The 5-string has a little bit more possibilities because with the 5 strings, the curvature is a little less. We don't have that much of a dip down here for the low string. You might be able to, so I got to leave enough action to be able to press down on these strings to get chords. Okay, so don't make the action too low, certainly not too high, but don't make the action too low or you'll get problems. So be able to press down on the chord. So I down tune it a little bit. I might want to down tune it. I can't get it down a whole octave, but I might want to G tune it to get those strings a little more so it can be flattened by the bow, and then we can get the chords. So let's look. So now the D, G, A minor. One thing to remember is that these modal tripentatonics, the 3 shapes right here, are always within the same column. So C minor, E, and G minor are always in the same column. Here's E and here's G minor. In the G box with the A minor, it would be an A minor shaped D minor. Okay, so we just follow caged here. C goes to A minor, E goes to D, and G minor goes to E minor. So it'd be A minor, D, and then E minor. So it'd be here's the D and here's